Hello and welcome to another episode of Young Black Mrs. I'm your host, Morgan F. And this solo podcast episode is going to be all about reclaiming your me time. And as I stow away a few moments of me time to chat with you about some things that I'm going to be doing this year, I lost my thought. Okay. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Young Black Mrs. I'm your host, Morgan F., and this episode is all about reclaiming your me time. And as I am pondering what that means as a new-ish mommy to a 10-month-old who is starting to crawl, I feel like it might be a really calming and sobering reminder to continue to prioritize yourself regardless of where you are in your life, whether you're a just a new wife, got a new position at work, a new job, or a new family, whatever the case may be. I feel as women, we are always such givers, and sometimes we are not receivers. So let this solo pod remind you that you're worth it and you deserve your me time. All right, so let's hop into some segments. Shaking my curls, I'm shaking my curls, I'm shaking my curls, shaking my curls, I'm shaking my curls, I'm shaking my curls, I'm shaking my curls, shaking my curls. Have you ever thought to yourself, gee, now that we're working in office more, how did I ever work 5 days a week? Is that just me? Am I the only person that's like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Right? So I'm really shaking my curls at any position that doesn't offer flexibility. And I notice as I'm focusing in on my me time and I'm focusing in on myself, how valuable, not even if it's just like a remote position, but how valuable even a hybrid, more flexible schedule can be. Wow, you are really trying to focus. Ooh, that was a really long burp. Let's cut that out. I wonder if they can hear Chalet in the background. I'll try to. I know I got these earrings that don't match. Should I take my earrings off? Well, they don't know what kind of bottom I had on. I might just be giving you a little look. Alrighty, shaking my curls. As I've been in a um, both remote and a hybrid position, I'm really valuing using your PTO and using any type of time so that you can have a break to recharge. But despite what may be happening in your particular position, there's so much going on right now that you really seriously need to value yourself at times. And sometimes the best medicine is just stepping away. Like, even if there's nothing particularly wrong at your position, but if you just need to take a break, and if it means a day off, a couple of days off, or if it means like you're actually going to take a lunch or you're actually going to step away from the computer during the day and or you're just going to take a walk or you're going to do whatever. Like my current company has a cafe that's in the building, and like I feel like nobody really uses it, maybe just on my team. So I go down there and I get myself a little matcha latte, okay? And that is the treat to myself because I feel like I've always wanted to work in the place that I'm in, and I never experienced the place because I'm always at my cubicle. So I'm like, nope, I'm going out. I'm experiencing the things that I wanted to be a part of in this position. And so I guess I'm shaking my curls at not using your PTO, but overall not taking breaks. So let this be a reminder. Take a break. Even if you're like a work at home mommy, just take a break. Like, sleep when the child sleeps, which is blasphemy and dumb to me, but like, seriously try it. Maybe it'll work for you because it didn't work for me very well, except for one period of time where I always got my little early on, like maybe my child was maybe 3 months, and she was maybe 2 to 3 months, and she was consistently going to sleep from like 1 to 3, and I'd be down with her. Okay, so take a break, value all that. All right, let's go on to the next. All right. So reclaiming your me time and finding those hobbies that make you light up and bring you joy is something that I wanted to spend a few moments chatting with you about. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see me look over at my outline at periodically. So, but thank you for watching. We're here. Okay. So, solo hobbies to me are so valuable because it's like it hopefully it doesn't really cost you anything to do them. Hopefully, it doesn't really cost you anything to do them. But I feel like with so much going on and so many goals that you might be wanting to hit in this first quarter of the year, it's good to reflect and recharge and just do something that like charges your battery separate from anyone else that may be in your circle. Now, I'll get to talking about some group activities, but I want you to consider thinking about personal hobbies that you can do that don't require you to be around anyone else. And I'm not just saying doom scrolling through Instagram or watching TV, albeit that is awesome. But perhaps think about something that you're passionate about. Maybe it's art, maybe it's writing, maybe it's photography, maybe it's drawing, maybe it's playing an instrument. For me personally, it has always been my desire to learn how to play the keyboard. And so I always told myself, oh, I'm going to keep learning to play this keyboard that I have that I've had since I was like 13. So perhaps I need to consider maybe going to take an actual class other than just using an app. And honestly, the app I was using was kind of getting me started. So perhaps I can tap back into that. As you may assume or know based on my blog, and if you haven't checked out my blog, it's always in the show notes or in the description of this video, where you can see a little bit more detailed about this podcast. And also there's a variety of just blogs, foodie stuff, and just other type of topics that are archived. So definitely check that out. And perhaps that's something that I can get into writing, whether it be blogging, story writing, poetry. One thing I love about my husband, every night he writes a haiku, kind of reflecting on his day. Maybe it's just journaling. Then you, then that's something that you can do to continue reflecting. Perhaps you're into knitting or sewing, crocheting. My aunt loves this kind of stuff. And honestly, that's a great way to make gifts or just get out your frustration. So those are some creative options you can do. Another thing that I'm really into, I've been hearing the girlies talk about touching grass. And just from us, like where I am, like in a spiritual position, I can really benefit just from being outside in nature. So whether it's exercising, hiking, taking a walk out in nature, that is something that you can do alone, solo, but also think about gardening. I I was really getting into gardening. I'm telling you, like I had my YouTube university degree in gardening with a I want to say like a concentration in Squarespace gardening. I was that girl. I was that good, right? So if that's something that's interesting to you, learn more about how to do it and then just start. Like the time of this recording, it's I'm starting to plan what I want to put in my garden for the upcoming season. Another things that you can also do that are just more health based. I know I had mentioned walking and hiking, but exercise. Exercise can be a solo or it can be a group. I love to watch different videos. I have an Apple Watch, so I like to use my the fitness app and do yoga, or they have meditation, they have Pilates. I'm a Pilates girly. I've been doing Pilates since I was 17. Now it's a little bit different after a child, but we are going to continue pushing forward. So those are things that you can do. Consider that. And of course, you could take a group class. You can also read or learn a new language. My husband is killing me on that Duolingo app, and I keep getting his notifications. I'm like, that's fine. Also, consider maybe taking any sort of online courses. Maybe this can also help you professionally, or it can just be something for fun. I know I've taken some classes um, about how to cook different things like dumplings, or there's certain different classes that you can take online or in person as well that can just get you to learn a new skill. We've also done candle making classes with my cousins, so there's just lots of things that you should look at. There's a couple of places that I like to visit for these type of events, especially like yoga. You may want to visit eventbrite.com, or if in your you can probably Google just like free classes in your area too, so that could help you as well. And then I will leave in the show notes the because like, oh, Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods has quite a bit of classes that you can take, like those cooking classes or just all different sorts of cocktail classes, that foodie stuff as well. That's something that you can take, as a date night, or it can just be by yourself to learn a new skill. So they have quite a bit of cool offerings. And that kind of leads me into cooking, baking, cooking of any kind of type, or canning, preserving things. So if you're kind of gardening, then that canning would be good. I know myself personally, I love pickling vegetables and just adding them to things. I like to make charcuterie boards. So that always comes in handy. But if you're like, okay, Morgan, yes, I guess I could solo, but I I want to be amongst people, I want to be amongst people. So what else can I do to be amongst people? Now, when you think about a solo hobby, it is really to recharge. So I feel like it really should be something that lights you up, that excites you, that kind of motivates you. That's why a lot of the times I'll get up and do a workout because that feels good. I would love to learn a new language because that would just expand my knowledge base. But there's sometimes where I want to continue to be in community. And that's why those group activities and group hobbies are so beneficial as well. And so again, the fitness of it all. I aspire one day to run a marathon. I don't know when, but I just been thinking about it, right? And so any sort of fitness club or a gym you may be going to, I was going to a Pilates reformer gym for about 2 or 3 months, but then honestly I was pregnant and I was just like, nah, cancel. Sure, of course, they probably could have modified, but then the times were getting weird, and I'm just like, this is too much, and the times are getting funky. So consider any sort of fitnessy class, a dance class. Me and my mom used to do, it wasn't called Zumba, but it was something like that at a local gym. And I still chat with the girl from the class that I kept in touch with. So that's always something that you can kind of get into. Other activities that you can do in connection with community, I would always consider your local library for different sort of classes that they may have. I know me and my husband took some salsa classes when we were first engaged or maybe first married, and that was super cool. Also consider community service. Perhaps you can go volunteer somewhere, perhaps a local kitchen or something like that with a cause that you really resonate with. I'm sure the organization will always need help, and this is an opportunity where you can make an impact and also be a part of your community and for people that need to be served. You know what I mean? So you can always tap into different sort of groups as well. Say you're in a local church, be sure to tap into their church groups. I know I've been active in a Bible study group. And if you're affiliated with an organization, a Greek organization, tap into that, of course, and just get active in that. But if you're a parent, check out like Mommy and Me or Daddy and Me, parenting groups, and even going to different indoor play gyms or support groups. That really can help you tap into community and be able to gain support in your journey through faith or parenting or whatever in whatever field or stage of life that you're in that really benefits you. And always just check out and do your research on these local groups. I feel like Facebook groups are a good place to start, but then make sure you kind of take that offline and be able to connect one on one. It's cute and wonderful to kiki and text and DM somebody, but take that offline and really meet those folks in person so that you can, create a bond and help with getting an activity to really just recharge you. And if you haven't kind of figured out by now, a lot of the reason why. I value and believe that hobbies are so beneficial because I kind of feel like we spend a lot of our lives doing oh so many things, right? I feel like a lot of it is cooking. I feel like a good portion of it is cleaning. And I feel like a good portion of it is driving or commuting. But then you're at work for a long period of time. Perhaps you're in a building or in front of a computer. So, what time do you have for yourself or with a community that you're comfortable and you choose to be in that's solely just for the purpose of you? There's no monetary gain, it's simply for enjoyment. And so, it could move you professionally. It could, but that's not the intent, right? The intent is solely for enjoyment, solely for giggles. If you're reading a good book, it's solely for giggles. You know what I'm saying? Consider what hobbies really resonate with you that I've chatted with you about today. And I'd love to hear, definitely reach out to me on social media. You can follow me on all platforms at Young Black Misses and let me know what really resonated with you. Ooh, hold on. Excuse me. Guess I've been talking for a little while. I hope that this has really benefited you. It got you thinking about hobbies and what you want to do with your spare time. And if you feel like you don't have any spare time or any time to have a hobby, I always say you make time for what's important for you, right? So consider me like my morning. I pump at 5:30-ish. And I'll get up and I will try to do a workout because I value that. And I feel like once I've done said workout, I don't need to worry about it through the day. I'm all good. I'm all done. And that's important to me. And at night, I value watching a trash TV show and passing out. I appreciate that. And it livens me up and it gives me energy to keep going because I feel like there's so much stress about unknowns and uncertainties that we need our battery charged at all times. And so I hope that resonates with you. And I appreciate you for listening. If you gained value from this episode, please share with a friend. If you're listening on a podcast where you can rate and review, do so 5 stars for your girl. I appreciate you. And until next week, when I'll be doing another solo episode leading into our 3-part series about friendship, peace. Take care.